Next question. The following annual figures relate to XYZ company. So information is given to us about a company XYZ and its annual figures are given. Sales 36 lakhs and it is at 2 months credit. Means average collection period is given to us as 2 months. Next is a consumption of the material 9 lakhs and suppliers extend 2 months credit. Means average payment period is given to us as 2 months. Wages paid 7,20,000 and 1 month lag in the payment. So average payment period is 1 month. Cash manufacturing expenses. These expenses are paid again 1 month in arrear, means average payment period is 1 month. Administration expenses 1 month. So 1 month lag in the payment. So average payment period is 1 month. Sales promotion expenses paid, highlight the portion quarterly in advance. So we are having the advance payment of the sales promotion expenses. The company sells its product on gross profit of 25%. Depreciation is considered as a part of the cost of the production. It keeps 1 month stock of the each raw material and finished goods. And cash balance is 1 lakh. Friends, at the end of the question, this is what's additionally provided. Assuming 20% safety margin, compute the working capital requirement of the company on cash cost basis. Ignore WIP. I want you to write in the chat box that whether it is a new company or existing company. Dear students, over here, directly or indirectly it has not been given that it is a new company, so we assume that it is an existing company. Let us answer along with me. First point, in this question, directly or indirectly, it has not been given that it is a new company, so we assume that it is an existing company. I want you to write in the chat box that what is the stock of raw material. Please write answer in the chat box. What is the stock of raw material? Dear students, the question provides that it keeps 1 month stock of each raw material and finished goods. During the year, the consumption is 9 lakhs. So what we can do, we can make the calculation like this. Annual raw material consumption divided by 12 months into raw material holding period. Consumption for the entire year is an amount of 9 lakhs divided by 12 months into raw material holding period is 1 month. So with that, so we can make the calculation of stock of raw material. 9 lakhs divided by 12, 75,000 into 1 is rupees 75,000. My next question to all of you is, don't write anything. My next question to all of you is that what is the purchase of raw material? My question is, what is the purchase of raw material? Please write answer in the chat box. Friends, we understand that say the purchase of the year will be an amount of rupees 9 lakhs. It is equal to the consumption of raw material. Let us understand why. See, we understand that say the closing stock of raw material is calculated as opening stock plus purchase minus consumption. I asked you that say what is the purchase? So purchase is closing plus consumption minus opening stock. See, the way we have the closing stock at the end of this year, similarly, in the previous year also we would have the closing stock. And we assume that say the closing stock of the previous year and say the closing stock of this year would be same. So what will happen? So the opening and closing would be adjusted against one another. In that case, what will happen is that the purchase of the raw material will be equal to the consumption. That is an amount of rupees 9 lakhs. This is what we understand. So friends, for an ongoing company, there is one more point that say we learn over here is like this. Listen carefully. The opening stock of the raw material and closing stock of raw material would be same. So the consumption and purchase will be same. Same is the case with the finished goods. Closing stock of the finished goods and opening stock of the finished goods are assumed to be same. So cost of goods produced itself is cost of goods sold. Now we'll write the second point. For an ongoing company, we assume that opening stock and closing stock will be same. For all types of stock. Hence, purchase of raw material and consumption of raw material would be same. Full stop. In that, write down further. Cost of goods produced and cost of goods sold would be same. Full stop. Third point, for an existing company, comma, Working capital will be calculated in following sequence. In the breakdown, A, cash cost of sales. B, working capital requirement. So these are the two steps in which we are required to do answer. First is cash cost of the sales, and second is working capital. Now write down heading. Step number 1, calculation of cash cost of sales. Everybody is requested to pay attention. I need to give you some explanation over here. Column number 1, particulars. Column number 2 is answer. See, direct material consumption or a raw material consumption. It is an amount of rupees 9 lakhs. Direct wages is 7,20,000. Then cash manufacturing expenses 9,60,000. So we have cash cost of goods produced and sold. It is an amount of rupees 9 lakhs plus 7,20,000 plus 9,60,000. That comes to 25,80,000. Now the point which I want to tell you is this. Listen carefully. See, the sales of the company is 36 lakhs. The question is providing that say we have the gross profit of 25%. And depreciation is part of the cost of the production. So basically we have to understand. We don't have to write anything like this, but we have to understand that so the question is providing the information in this way, that sales of the company is 36 lakhs. That is divided into two parts. 25% is gross profit and 75% is COGS. %25 of 36 lakhs is 9 lakhs. 75% is COGS, that is 27 lakhs. This 27 lakhs would be divided into two parts. One is the cash cost that we already have calculated. It is an amount of 25,80,000. 27 lakhs minus 25,80,000. 1,20,000 is depreciation. That is what we understand, because the language of the question is very clearly providing that say that 25% is GP and cost of goods sold includes say the depreciation. Cost of production includes depreciation. So that 26 lakhs has this bifurcation. But basically we are not interested in the depreciation amount. Why? Because otherwise also we are ignoring it. Otherwise also we are ignoring it. So depreciation is something to which we are not concerned. Now to this we will add administration expenses and we will add selling expenses. That is the way cash cost of sales will be calculated. I request all of you to write down answer. This portion is only for understanding. This does not form part of the answer. This is what you are required to write. Please write down answer. And I hope that everybody is clear. I have ignored opening and closing stock. Why? Because both of them will set off against one another. I have ignored the finished goods. Why? Because it will be set off against one another. Language of the question clearly provides that you have to ignore WIP. Even if at all it is supposed to be considered, then we assume that the opening and closing are same. So in this statement, we don't have to mention WIP for an existing company. Right on answer. Administration expenses is 2,40,000 and selling expenses are 1,20,000. 25,80,000 plus 2,40,000 plus 1,20,000. 29,40,000. This is what we understand. Please write down answer. Step number 2 will be calculation of the working capital. So I request all of you to write down answer. Step number 2, calculation of working capital. I request you to do answer for the working capital on your own and put your answer in the chat box.